In today's video, and at your request, we're going to review the Haworth Fern chair, which you will easily recognize with this shape that is quite specific. Welcome, I'm Olivier Girard, ergonomist, posture therapist, author of the Posture Manual and creator of 3 online posture programs. We're going to proceed as follows. First of all, we're going to see how to adjust the chair, and then we're going to review the dimensions of the chair, i.e. where it's for big people, where it's for small people, where it's appropriate, where it's less appropriate, and conclude with recommendation on buying or not buying, for whom and for what. There are very few visible controls on this chair. Here you have the height adjustment, up and down. Then on the right side as well, you have this click here, which is the tilt function block. So if the tilt function is completely forward, the chair is blocked or almost blocked. And if it's back, it can move a lot. In between, well, it will move, but less. The resistance of the movement will be adjusted with this handle here. If you rotate forward, it's more resistant. If you rotate backwards, you will go easier. That's for the right side. On the left side, you have the seat depth adjustment, which I recommend to always use out of the chair. You can go further forward or further back. As far as the backrest is concerned, you can't adjust anything. It does it for yourself, at least it's supposed to be. The armrests are a very interesting feature of this chair because they can be adjusted in height from quite high to quite low, but also in rotation and in width. How do you adjust this chair? The first thing you should do is put the seat depth at the minimum. Then you bring the height to the maximum, you climb on the chair, sit deep against the backrest, and you lower the chair until your heels are firmly on the ground. And that's it, because the tilt block will be adjusted according to your preference as well as the resistance. When you work, the chair is supposed to be, say, vertical or at least forward. When you don't work, you can tilt it back more or less, but careful, this isn't a working position, because when I'm like this, well, there's nothing that will prevent my head from going like this, apart from the front neck muscles. And when these front neck muscles are contracted, well, we have the same problem as we have with people with forward head posture. So, you know, the tilt back function, if you don't have a headrest, is just for very, very short periods. In terms of armrest adjustment, the idea is that your elbows are relaxed when they're alongside your body. So what you do is you put your elbows relaxed and you bring the armrest right underneath so that when you type, they're not in your way, but as soon as you want to rest, they're right here. If you're rather tiny, you bring them close to each other, yeah? And if you're wider than I am, you spread them further apart so that it's easy to get out and in the chair. Now, let's talk about the backrest. You see, the backrest is the most essential function of a chair because when you sit, well, you will tend to slouch like this, which is a rotation of your pelvis. So the backrest is important in the sense that it will prevent your pelvis from turning back. In other words, the important part of the backrest is what's called the lumbar support. Strange name, will you say, because we're not holding the lumbar, we're really trying to hold the pelvis, i.e. belt level, which is where you can feel the 2 bony protrusions here, right? Now, if I go against the backrest of this chair, I feel supported actually a bit lower than what I would like. I feel that the chair supports me here instead of there, which you can actually see in the shape of the backrest. You see the most forward point of the backrest is at this height above the seat pan. If you compare it to many other chairs, that point here will be rather here on many chairs, and on most chairs it will be adjustable in height. Here, probably based on the idea / the observation that most people don't adjust their backrest, Haworth has tried to find an automatic system, i.e. a plastic mesh that will adapt to the shape of your body. Unfortunately, I would say that the implementation of the backrest is a bit too low. So the fact that the implementation of the backrest is a bit too low would bring you in the direction of thinking that the chair is for rather small people. Unfortunately, well, the seat depth is rather big. You know, I'm 50% of the population and I can barely fit one finger behind the knee fold. So in terms of backrest height, the chair is rather for small people, and in terms of seat depth, the chair is rather for tall people, which is kind of contradictory, say. Now you could argue, and you would have a point in doing so, that if you have long femurs and a short torso, the chair is perfect for you. Yeah, fair enough, I can accept that. So again, we come back always on the same question, is for whom do you buy this chair? If you are a company manager and you buy this chair for 500 people, well, a number of them will not feel comfortable, and the smallest of them will have problems touching or using the backrest. If you're buying it for yourself, you have sat for a test period of 1 week on it and you're happy with it, it's another story. It is a good chair in many respects, in terms of armrest, in terms of simplicity of use, in terms of kind of comfort in this area. It is comfortable, but for me not exactly at the right height, and therefore I'm just saying it's a chair that has a lot of good things, but in terms of dimensions there are a number of issues in my mind, and therefore as a company manager I would not buy this chair for my 500 employees. In this type of price range there's really a lot of choice, and therefore the question is, well, if you have an intensive use, why should you not have a backrest which is perfectly suited to hold your pelvis?